Hello, everyone. I am on hour 20 of my 24 in 24 for Sam's challenge, where every hour on the hour for 24 hours today, 24th of July, so 247. I have either been presenting a small talk or having a conversation about things that matter to a lot of people. And the reason why I'm doing this is to raise visibility for SAMS and also to fundraise for my little branch that I love so much. And to share with you what we do. So, we are a crisis phone line for callers who are going through things that might be too heavy to talk about with people around them, and who might be feeling suicidal. So, this is a topic that very few people talked about. This morning at I think 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., I had a couple of conversations with some people who were very, very candid with their own dark thoughts. And what I'm doing here is to create a space so that we can have conversations about, like I said, about things that matter. And that's why we have, for this hour, we got Philip and Maria. Hi, both of you.
Hello, hello, and
Hello.
great to be here, Pei. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. So, Philip, I've met you at different conferences already. Maria, I met you in helping out here.
Polish Dreaming?
That's right. So I knew it was P. I was going to say Portugal, but I did because they both started with P. Yes, we did, and we shared the stage along with Alex Klein, and we were waiting in the wings while Alex was doing her thing on the stage, and you were telling me your story, and that kind of like really blew me away. So I think this session is about your story and Philip as well as kind of like a supporter in a whole process. I will pass the floor over to both of you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Pei. Um,
thanks.
I think really this is a story about determination, pure determination, and I think also definitely also about the amazing support you can find in the Salesforce community. It doesn't come just by itself. You need to go for it. You need to ask for it. And I think Maria is just a beautiful case study of realizing a dream that for many it feels impossible, especially in these challenging times. We're talking about securing, landing, a job in the Salesforce ecosystem as a junior, as an entry level trailblazer enthusiast, and it's one of my favorite stories. So there's hundreds, thousands of them, of course, but here with Maria, we've had a journey, and we haven't stopped.
Yeah, we haven't stopped actually. Well, it all started kind of suddenly in my life because I'm over 40, closer to 50 at the moment, uh, to be honest. And I never thought that I will be working in any kind of IT. That was not part of me at all. I'm kind of person that likes to move a lot and needs to move. So the last job before Salesforce was I was doing some museum exhibitions. So when you prepare the museum exhibition, you need to, just run all over the places and stuff like that. And then one day, something strange happened to my eye. I just stopped seeing, and I had like blurry things in the eye that passed away. But after all, I had like 2 weeks of huge headache. So after 2 weeks, I figured out that maybe I should go to see some doctor because it's not like normal. So I went to the doctor. So they put me to the hospital, and after a week of tests, they told me, "Well, Maria, you have multiple sclerosis." And I was like, "What? That's not possible. Not me." Like those things happen to all other people, not to me. We always think so, but that was the fact. So I knew nothing about multiple sclerosis, but when I started to learn about it, it actually occurred that I will not be able to run anymore so much and to move around places so much because I get tired really, really fast. And I was like, okay, so what I'm gonna do? I'm over 40 and I don't have a job or the idea what I can do. So then one of the colleagues said, "Hey, have you ever heard about Salesforce?" And I was like, "No, what's Salesforce?" So he said, "Just go on Trailhead and check it out." So I checked it out, and of course I was in love because gamification parts I like that. So I studied hard. I earned my admin certification, and I was like, "Okay, I'm ready to land the job." But there was no job. Nobody was waiting for Maria, and it lasted for I think a year, right, Philip? Something. Yeah,
I
there
think it
was
was
a
over a year
yeah,
before
and
we
then
met.
there was this conference, um, something
S
summit, S4 summit, yeah, in
S4 Summit.
Poland. So
It was totally, this was just after, post-pandemic times where we went past a couple of years of boom of hiring, from 2020 to
Mm.
2022.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we were feeling this. I think this was just after the invasion of Russia and Ukraine. So, of course, we all felt it
yeah,
quickly, right? That investors, clients, customers are taking a precautious approach to investments, and juniors felt it first. Let's be honest. Entry level candidates felt it first, and a lot of the events were still taking place online. We were kind of coming back to this reality of mingling and socializing in person. But yes, there was a very well organized online series of events organized by an organization here in Poland. And S4 Summit was a 3-day kind of online marathon of plenty of different online sessions. It's like a community event, but online. And
Mm.
we had like virtual booths. So I, being a recruiter, I was manning this virtual booth. It's a simple Google link, to a conversation on Google, and people are just coming in, popping in during the breaks, saying hello. And one of these wonderful people I came across was Maria, who came to say hello. So yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Maria. I just thought I'd share a
No,
little
no,
bit.
that's perfect. So I came to say hello, and I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm looking for a job in Salesforce." And Philip was like, "Great, but we are not hiring juniors at the moment." And I was like, "Oh, that's a crap." But then he said that he was running that initiative, Salesforce Superstars, where he had like 10 minutes talk with people, just to, that was on YouTube, right? Or somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do something to help all these talented enthusiasts, trailblazers. I've always been like that. I've got to do something to help out those who are in need, who need a bit of extra support, especially when it came to juniors. During the
Mhm.
pandemic, there was a wave of redundancies across all
Yeah.
industries. So I launched an initiative back then in 2020, and it was, record an interview with me online, and I'll publish it on LinkedIn, and let's boost your, visibility to employers. Let's share your story, your skills. Most importantly, let employers validate your soft skills, because this is the essential thing everyone's looking for. What we all claim is
Mm.
important. So you might come across a candidate on LinkedIn having a discussion with me, a 10-minute interview, and just ask simple questions, who are you? What do you specialize in? What are you looking for? And let's share it with the world. And there's lovely, lovely personalities coming through, skills, and it kind of boomed. I kind of went national, I had newspapers contact me saying, Phil, this is a great initiative. It was all in Polish. It was like anyone from any industry, and it was quite successful. Later, during this the beginning of this challenging time for juniors, because at that, after the pandemic, we were having like academy after academy. It was really hard to bring enough people to launch a boot camp. For companies who are organizing these initiatives to hire people at junior level constantly. But that came to an end, and it became very challenging for juniors. So I thought, let me do a similar concept as I did a couple of years ago, but let's call it Salesforce Superstars, and let's show the soft skills, the communication skills, consultative skills, and kind of validate it through a 10-minute, 12-minute online interview where I just quickly talk about someone, get to know them, they share their message to the world, and we raise awareness of availability and what skills they're specializing in and which area, which domain they feel comfortable in exploring. And it took off. It was very successful. I managed to, I think it was 8 people that were convinced to record it. A lot more conversations with people who just weren't ready, who didn't feel ready to publish, go live and be live forever on LinkedIn. So I was never one. I'm never one to convince them and persuade them. If they're not ready, they're not ready, and I totally respect that. But there were 8 wonderful trailblazers. One of them being Maria, where we recorded with a little bit of editing, and just published it, and I would tag employers, people I know who might be hiring or who team leaders within that particular domain. And it was a very nice initiative. People really welcomed these recordings, and it's quite successful. I think out of the 8 people, 5 people landed jobs within a short period of time, but still challenging. But it kind of opened up a different, let's say, approach, a way to introducing yourself, getting your foot through the door.
Yeah, but that was tough. I must say, I said when Philip proposed this to me, I was like, "Yeah, sure, I will do it." And then because I tend to first say and then think. That's sometimes, well, usually. So then I had this thought: "Oh my God, really? Am I going to be like live interview with me? That's not me. That's totally not me." Because I was rather always shy person and the one that doesn't want to, be put on the light and spotlight and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, but I said yes, so we need to do it, right?
So
Uh,
was it the videoing that you found, that you found a bit more challenging to do? Is that what you mean when you say it was difficult?
yeah, it was just difficult to the idea that okay, a lot of people are going to see me and maybe my pronunciation is not good enough, maybe my English is not good enough, or maybe I will say some stupid things or whatever.
What will they think of me?
Yeah,
It's that
yeah,
kind of phobia, let's say, of going public,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very common. I, I
That's
I
true.
fought with it for years myself to do my first LinkedIn live or go live. I hate looking at myself. I hate the sound of my voice. But kind of, I think you start learning to what it doesn't matter. Where things for you may feel so easy, so simple. It's like, oh, this is not bringing any value to anyone. This is a bit dumb. Well, actually, there's always someone out there who'll really value whatever you're sharing. So it's I learned that from a colleague or from a friend who kind of pushed me a little bit to go create different content on LinkedIn, and this was a beginning for my journey too. I mean, you'll see it from the videos; they're still available on LinkedIn. The quality is so, but what I like to say, it's authentic. It's all about authenticity nowadays.
So Maria, tell me a little bit more about, kind of like your experience and your journey since you got your diagnosis and right up until getting your first job. Like, talk to me about the emotional journey for you.
uh that was tough, like really tough, because I knew, well, I got the diagnosis, and on the same day, actually, I got fired from my previous job because they said that my position is redundant. So I was left with nothing, and fortunate enough, I have a partner, and he's a doctor, so it was kind of easier because he told me, even though he's an orthopedist, but his perspective was like really great, because he said, hey, come on, for the past 12 years there is so much invention and so much they brought really good medicines, so it's not like the end of the world. It's not said that you will end up on a wheelchair, so just don't worry, just do whatever you have to do to be treated, and you find a job when you will be ready, right? So that was really, really wonderful of him. But I have this feeling in my, I'm always like that, that I do not want to be dependent on anyone. So I needed to find a way to stop earning some money. So, but that was like what we already said, that for the first year, there was no job whatsoever. Even though I was like really fighting much, I signed up to Clicked, that yeah, company from United States, and I was like on all sprints and everywhere with them. So I was just trying to learn as much as possible, and I learned on Trailhead as well. But uh, well, no luck. So there was one point when I thought, "Oh Jesus, I will never find a job," and maybe that was like the bad horse. I don't know how to say it in English, but when you bet on horses, just the wrong one.
Bad bet, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, bad bet. So, but then we actually we recorded that first superstar video, and I think a month later or something, Philip just approached me and he was like, "Hey, let's do the LinkedIn series where we will
It wasn't
revise."
quite like that, Maria.
No,
No, trip down memory lane. Because I had to, I refreshed myself. You know what? I the reason for Salesforce Superstar is great, and I continue to do this. I'm now working with a couple of young gentlemen who want to also get involved. I learn with every recording how to do it better, hopefully. Um, I was a bit overwhelmed with, the amount of messages I was receiving from junior talents from all over the world.
yeah,
And, I was thinking to myself, I had a long think, and I said, I can't save the world, and, I can't respond to every single one. It got a little bit, and I'm also a recruiter day to day, so I live on LinkedIn and I'm replying to hundreds of messages constantly, and I'm sending them out too. So I had to make a decision. How can I optimize this, but still continue sharing and helping, and hopefully show case studies that it's worth being determined and continuing, the efforts to secure work. And then I came up with an idea. I'm going to put out a poll on LinkedIn, publish the poll. What do you guys think? This is a crazy idea. I'm thinking of this idea to do a LinkedIn live series with one person who's courageous and ready to just meet once a week and have a live career coaching session to help this person from scratch, from understanding their circumstances, to reviewing their CV, to talking how to approach the job market, the hidden job market, to building your profile on LinkedIn, to networking, to looking for the whole shebang, basically.
Mhm.
And we do it once a week live on LinkedIn, share it, unscripted sessions, 1 hour, 2 hours even, sometimes, and let the rest of the world just be our audience. There's many people in similar situations and may find it valuable, may get a little hint, maybe look at some things differently. And it's a bold move. I've never done anything like that. I'm not a career coach, disclaimers all the time. So I really don't know where it'll go. But one promise I will make is we can continue recording once a week until you land that job, no matter how long it's going to take. I think I even said something like, there's two options where we finish this series. Is one, you find a job. Two, I'll eat my shoes live on LinkedIn as final episode. So there was a bit of banter always when we were doing this. And yes, and Maria was the one who reached out to me and said, Philip, you
yeah,
found your guinea pig. And that's how it started. And I was like really happy. Because I wanted people to approach me rather than me convincing others. It's not an easy task to ask. And I never did it before. I never did LinkedIn Lives before.
yeah. Yeah, but true. But then I think that there was like really good timing, because something just happened in my head. I don't know how. That I said to myself, "Oh, just whatever, let it be." I mean, if let's go live, let's do whatever. I just don't care anymore. I'm just myself. I need to find a job. So yeah.
How many sessions did it take?
We had in total 14
Oh,
once a week, 14 weeks. And it was tough, right? I mean, right at the beginning was tough to break through. It was a bit nerve-wracking, and I mean, I was overwhelmed with the interest in it. We had on our first edition, first launch, despite that it was I think 1.5 hours long, we had over 100 people live watching us, and then following that, people from all over the world, just a thumbs up, saying that was really cool. I love the idea. This is just what I wanted to see. And I still, till today, I sometimes share one of the series covering a specific topic to those who like ask, how to approach this, how to do. There's no answer, real answer. It's changing, evolving all the time. But watch this or listen to this discussion that I had with Mario about this, and it's amazing. And it's, of course, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's far from perfect. But we did a lot together. And what happened after our first edition, I had some big names, big influencers start reaching out uh, and asking, "Hey, can I get involved? Can I help?" And we had some amazing guests. From the Polish community, we had Łukasz Pujwo. Łukasz Pujwo, Pei, right? Our Salesforce MVP, the organizer and host of Polish Dreaming. So a fantastic guy who came along. He was the first to share some sort of advice from his perspective, how he would approach what he sees. And Maria was interviewing them. So, I would drop off the live and Maria would interview them. So it was really nice. It was all about her also building confidence to talk and get the information she needs for her career. And it just turned out to fantastic discussions, really, really totally different perspectives and approaches to job searching, to the current market. So Łukasz Bujwo. Then we had two fantastic authors of a Salesforce administration book published at the time from Poland, Krzysztof and Mateusz, and they came. They also shared their experience from entering the world of consulting, Salesforce consulting, also had their comments and shared their feedback about it. We had Magdalena from Błaszczyk, so the head of HR, head of marketing for Salesforce, who was organizing the Salesforce World Tours back then. And she came along, shared a bit about the event, but also, had her approach about, we need enthusiasts like you, Maria. Maria was invited, right? You were during the event covering, interviewing people, that what the magic started to happen when people started seeing this and they saw Maria's energy, her determination, it, and I don't know how many vouchers you got to pass your exam. I mean, that was another thing, right? You have two or
Yeah.
three, right?
Yeah.
People came and said, "Hey, I've got a voucher. I'd love to give it to Maria," and the support was absolutely phenomenal. Later we had Ben McCarthy join us, also share his view, his take, because at the time, he wrote I think it was one of the first articles where he was very realistic about the current market for juniors. It's like a couple of years ago, no, 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a hard message to many, and we talked about that, and that was wonderful to have him on board. Then we had a couple of recruiters. We had also Bradley Rice, you might be familiar with from Talent Stacker.
Yeah.
Amazing session with him too, and a couple of recruiters also sharing their insights. And every time we would have, it turned out after our fourth edition, we were always having a guest, right? So
Yeah.
we always welcomed a guest, and it became, a magical sort of experience.
So, Maria, what do you do now for work?
Now I work at NextView in managed services, so I'm
Oh,
in the first line.
how are you finding it?
Tough. It's tough. I must say it's tough, but worth because I'm learning so much that I think that I would nowhere learn as much as I do learn there because we have different customers, different orgs, different situations, different problems, different whatever. So yeah,
Pretty
each
much
day is
all
different.
products you can think of.
Are you
Yeah.
enjoying it though?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it because this is something, each day there is something new. So yeah, that's really great. But what I wanted to mention is that I have this one thought from my journey and from the Philip was of such a huge help here. But the one thought is that if you do not open yourself to the world, then there is like really low chance that something good will happen. But when you just open the door, just slightly open, then there are like so many wonderful people there that can help. That this is just amazing.
Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing your story. Now, if I were to kind of like ask you for just kind of a few takeaways before we wrap up. So, obviously, Philip, you said, interviewing someone on LinkedIn Live and giving kind of like career coaching is not scalable. So, for the future Marias coming up, like right now in today's job market state of play where we are with the AI and agent force and everything, what are the three things that you think everyone should be doing in order to focus their job search to get the kind of role that they want?
Great question. I hope I'll have a good answer. There's many answers to that question. Firstly, always be in opportunities. Always be searching. This is one advice I give everyone. Everyone is, even if you're absolutely happy where you are in your job, have an interview once a year. Go out to market, check out the market, see how things are progressing elsewhere, have a view on what's happening. And in order to do that and do that well, I would say invest your time in LinkedIn. Be present on LinkedIn. This is the platform for not just for recruiting, finding a job. It's a platform to learn and find inspirations from many. You're a perfect example, Pei, of sharing content that's unique, authentic, and important. So I would say explore further LinkedIn, build your presence on LinkedIn, because you never know what opportunity is behind that, is around that corner.
Thank you so much, Philip. How about you, Maria? What are the three takeaways you'd give to someone who is behind you in the same journey that you have been on?
Uh, Stay open and like open for other people, and try to be as visible as possible. And if you are having troubles with like people relations, just don't be scared. People are really extremely nice and really so helpful that it's just mind blowing. And also, well, never give up, because if you give up, then you will not get where you want to be. So it just, even though there can be like really tough times, it's there's always a hope, right? Hope that is the last one.
Mm-hmm. Question back to you, Philip. Do you feel like the job market's a little bit tougher now compared to when Maria was seeking her role?
Tougher, absolutely. I think, in particular, the Salesforce market and the European market, which I'm part of and following and active in, we're all seeing change. It's beginning, Salesforce has become very complex, and the role of consultants, developers is also diversifying, and I would say even merging. We expect the soft skills from a consultant, from a developer. We expect the technical capability and knowledge from a consultant. And the dynamics of the change, the new products, there's a lot to take in. But it still is a wonderful place, and there's a lot of opportunities to come. I would say this year is a lot better than last year, for sure. I'd say it's 30% more active for job seekers and for employers hiring. However, the roles are becoming a lot more specific. Long gone are the days for a generic Salesforce consultant, business analysis, great customer skills, great client-facing ability, challenging and logical thinking. Those job descriptions have gone. It's more specific cloud product knowledge. Now, more advanced flows, of course, are being popular in this role of consultant, but also the technical ability, knowing where the limitations are from out-of-the-box solutions, knowing when custom code comes into play, and then being able to work with specific technical specialists as a team. And of course, the amount of integrations and where we're heading with the solution, right? So having also in mind the data strategy for the customer and the potential of the AI agent force that is to come, to follow shortly. So yeah, it's becoming a lot more complex. The roles, I even had a conversation today with a client of mine, and that was this vacancy seems like 3 profiles in one. We're definitely going for the more for less approach right now. But again, it's becoming a very challenging and a great opportunity to specialize and become a valuable asset to companies, to your customers, clients, employers.
But what does that mean for the junior talent coming in, though?
It's a huge challenge, and this is, I don't read around the bush. I'm always optimistic, but I have to be realistic. You need to be determined to succeed. Things aren't going to come to you. You need to go out there, get them, ask for them. It's really going to develop your consultative skills whilst looking for your first job in Salesforce. That's for sure. But you're not going to do it alone. You need to be able to build networks, find a mentor, and stretch your limits to places you never thought you would be able to explore. And you can't do it alone. You need to build teams. You need to be active. You need to be available. Ideally, go out there, go to events, mingle, be part of the community, understand the frustrations, the opportunities, and want to become part of it. And gaining practical knowledge is an experience is the key issue here, the key limitation that many face, because of course Trailhead is a wonderful platform. There's some opportunities to attend a couple of day workshops and things like that. Absolutely brilliant, but there's more to it. You know this, Pei, perfectly. Maria knows this perfectly. What's on Trailhead in theory looks beautiful and it works, right? In the real world, it's a total different game, and you need to get hands-on. And this is what we were doing with Maria as well as part of the sessions. Is she was building her own application, or it was your own application
for applications.
Recruitment, or monitoring your applications on Salesforce with your own developed app, which you're also demoing and showing, and anything. Maybe you've got a family business. Think of a product think of a business you can put onto Salesforce, play with it, create some awesome objects, some functionalities that very unique to your particular kind of business, and present it. Go on LinkedIn, record a 3-minute demo, show that you've got the skills. This will open doors. It might not guarantee you a job. It will open doors, because I would say 1 to 3% of people actually go that far to present their knowledge in these sort of forms. And don't give up. Determination, as Maria is a perfect example of it. And she's inspired many, and she's inspired myself to be better too.
I love what you said, the show your learnings in public and present.
Yep.
And that, I think, is a key way of elevating yourself over so many other candidates. With that, I'm going to say thank you. But before that, I'm just going to do one more thing, which is pop this on the screen right in front of Philip's face. If everyone can go and donate, please, I would be so very grateful. And also, I'm hoping that those of you who have managed to listen to the current session, you will have come away with the gold nuggets. Actually, I thought that the takeaway at the end was incredibly valuable for all those who are coming thinking about pivoting. And if you're looking at trying to get a role in in Poland and in Europe, make sure you connect to Philip, follow Maria in her journey at Next View. So thank you again, both of you, for spending your time and sharing your story here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us, Pei, and good luck. Good luck with
Thank
your
you and
challenge
good
today.
luck.
I have
Yeah.
four more, and then I can go to bed.